Hello, Read It here. Today we're going to read a story from our /Entitle Parents. Now, for our first story, my mom had sex with a guy in my bed. Hi, my mom has recently been seeing for men. She is 57 years old and always acts like an 18-year-old. I recently saw today she has been having sex with a man in my bed, which obviously I am fuming about as it's disgusting. I am also autistic and my bedroom is my safe place. From this I have called her a slag and vile behavior because it is, and I said, why should I pay rent when you're doing this behind my back? She has turned around saying I am nasty, disgusting, and has banned my boyfriend coming around the house as a form of punishment, which I don't see why I should be punished as I have every right to be angry. My mom is also someone who never apologizes and slags of her kids when she doesn't get her way. So hopefully you can already see the type of person she is. Let's hear from the comment section. Comment 1. This sounds like it's deliberate abuse, trying to take your feeling of safety away from you and replacing it with the vulnerability that you and anything you have can and will not be safe from her. I mean, she surely has her own bed. Her partner surely would not pick the kid's bed as a first choice either. This had to be deliberate. And yes, it is absolutely disgusting. And based on your comment ID, put my money on narcissistic personality disorder. Fun fact, I had a landlord of pretty much the same sort, but worse. I seriously hope he gets a prison sentence for the shit he did. Comment 2, I'm so sorry you're dealing with this. I'm also autistic, and I can't imagine how violating it is to have her do that in your safe space. I'd say tell her she needs to wash and change all of your sheets and bedding, but it doesn't sound like she's the type to listen. Hopefully you have gloves and a reasonably accessible washing machine. Washing on the hottest setting possible will get them the cleanest. I saw that you're going to stay with your BF, which is good. Hopefully you can find a way to move out soon. In the meantime, since you pay rent, maybe you can get a lock for your bedroom door? That would at least protect your space. Comment 3. Sounds like she has narcissism, and I would work on moving out as soon as you can. Her behavior is going to drive you up a wall and affect you later in life, and it will be worse the longer you stay. Given her age, I doubt there is any changing her. It absolutely is disgusting that she feels the need to use your bed, your safe space. I'm sorry that she has no respect for your space. I'm not sure what you could do besides leave, unfortunately. When I was 17, I ended up running away just to be away from my mom, and it was the best decision I made. It was freeing being away from that instability and insanity. It's not worth putting up with that shit. I hope the best for you. Comment 4. Ugh. That feeling of your personal space being invaded is the worst. I had a roommate who would sneak into my room, eat my food, drink my drinks, and even do things on my bed. It was beyond violating. I finally had enough and installed a deadbolt, a striker plate, and a heavy-duty lock. They tried to pick it one day and even left evidence, but thankfully gave up. But the kicker? They smeared peanut butter all over the front of the door. Like why? Now, for our second story. My mother won't let me be financially independent and take a close look at my bank account daily. Salam, I need some advice. I'm fed up. I am working 2 jobs as a teacher in 2 different schools while working to get my master's degree. Both of my salary are put in a saving account, so we could move out and get a house. The rest is given to her because she struggles financially. When I am paid 1,500 euros in a month, I give her 400/500 euro, send the rest to my saving account, and keep for myself 100 euros, and in his amount of money. I have to pay for my food at work, college, etc. Now here's the thing. I love games. Video games. I'll buy myself some games and packs for about 50 euros, and sometimes I treat myself with some goodies from AliExpress, so I don't pay much and have stuff. She hates it. She checked my bank account regularly. She made me swear on the Quran to stop doing it. I had to swear without my consent. I was tired of this, and I wanted some games for Christmas, so I bought them along with some packs. I no longer wanted to obey about how to use my own money. She lost it, called me a sinner, saying I'll lose Allah's love forever for lying after swearing. That pissed me off. I fast. I pray, and when I have money, I give it to people in need. I help pay the bills I paid when my brother went to jail. And yet I'm the sinner? I swore on the Quran cause I was forced by her. I live with her and don't have another place to live, but at this point I'm looking for apartments cause this is getting ridiculous. Not to mention, sometimes I do pay until I'm in negative to treat her with flowers, pastries, presents, etc. Will I go to hell? I don't want to go to hell. I love God, I believe in Him, but I don't want to keep this promise I made when I didn't even wanted it. It's just games. She said I can't manage my money. She is taking notes daily on my bank account numbers, so she knows daily if I had paid for anything. Am I in the wrong? Let's hear from the comment section. Comment 1. You're clearly an adult. Once you hit 18, she has no access to your account. Get a new one she cannot see. If she is struggling so badly, she can go work for it. You are breaking yourself trying to meet every stupid expectation of hers while also paying for her lack of financial responsibility. How old is this woman? Damn well old enough to work part-time for her money. Christ sake, she's had kids even and is using you as her bank account? Absolutely not. Kids are not your bank account. She brought you into the world regardless of your choice in the manner. She has a responsibility to you to ensure you're set up in the world, not leech off your goodwill, and even more so turn the Quran on you. That was an oath under duress and thus does not qualify. Only when you yourself choose to swear something does it count. Others forcing you to is literally illegal in the court of law. Comment 2. Open a new bank account. Don't give her the access information. Switch over your savings and direct deposit. You can continue to give her money or not. Alternatively, tell her the money train stops if she continues to invade your privacy. Then change all passwords and codes for your bank accounts and didn't give it to her. You can even change your email address if she's one who would change your access information without permission. I'm sorry you're dealing with this. Move out ASAP. Comment 3. Salam, sister. I know this is hard, but what options do you have currently? Have you close to enough saved for moving out? I don't know which country you're in, but if you are safe, do you have friends you can move in with temporarily? Your mother is taking advantage of you instead of caring for you. She sees you only for your money. Allah asks us all to love and care for each other, but your mother is not following that. She is forcing you and not showing the respect or love that a mother should. You are giving her a third of your hard-earned money and caring for her. You are not at fault. Comment 4. I may be a Christian, but religious extremism should not matter. Your mother is using one of the worst evils. She is using her perspective of the Islam religion to control you. Plain and simple. You are a person who works 2 jobs while she sit of her, but .it is all control. It has nothing to do with sinning. It has to do with her controlling you money and you way of life. Where is her husband or other children? Why are you being fired to give her money? No, take a stand and tell her to find her own home and part-time job. Controlling an adult child is the sin here. Now, for our third story. Parents assumed I'd be with them over Christmas and are trying every tactic they can to guilt me. I've been going low contact, and deciding not to go home was genuinely terrifying for me. However, I made a plan with my therapist, booked tickets to stay with friends abroad, and committed to dodging the genuinely debilitating stress of family Christmas. Multiple friends took me aside last January because doing Christmas with family completely wrecked my mental health for weeks. Even though I knew they would push me to cancel, I told my family I wouldn't be down 4 months ago. I think they thought I'd give in to pressure to stay, picking holes in my plans as much as they could, making me feel like I'd be burdened to my hosts, that my health issues would be worse, that it may be the last Christmas with some specific family members. This was after a brief period of being angry with me for not giving them enough notice. Now they're making a point of bickering and guilting me in our family group chat, saying how much my vulnerable younger brother misses me, but not anyone else. Implying I'm selfish for avoiding their shitty Christmas because they had to endure a miserable holiday and it's unfair for me to enjoy my day. If anyone has advice for how to deal with holiday complications, I'd love them. This is making even the things I'm enjoying have a sour taste. Let's hear from the comment section. Comment 1. I am 60 years old. One thing I wish I had realized earlier in life is that I don't owe anyone else a minute of my time, especially if they're awful and even if they're family. Go have an amazing Christmas with your friends. Tell your parents that if they continue to bitch at you, they will see you even less. Comment 2. Every time you start to feel guilty and stressed, I want to look in the mirror and tell yourself this. Just like anyone, I deserve a holiday that does not stress me out and almost make me ill for weeks afterwards. I deserve to be surrounded by people who are not using me as an emotional support animal for themselves or their other kids. I deserve to be surrounded by people who are not trying to manipulate me so that they feel more powerful and in control of my life. At the end of the day, I deserve to be loved and respected for who I am, not for who someone else wants me to be just for their benefit. I have friends who love me. My friends have invited me because they want me to be there. And I'm going to go and cut out the noise in the background and have a good holiday. This is coming to you from somebody who is old enough to be your grandma, who is telling you point blank that you are doing nothing wrong and that your parents are not nice people. It is okay to acknowledge that. Maybe that's all your parents know from how they grew up, but it doesn't mean that as an adult you have to accept this behavior or even partake in it with them. So I'm sending you a grandma hug. I'm telling you to mute the whole chat, and when something comes in, don't look at it. If you feel the need to, send one text in the family group chat and tell them all. I do love you all as my family, but the pressure that my parents are putting me under happens every single year, and I'm not doing it this year. So everyone have a good holiday. A Merry Christmas. Have a wonderful New Year. I'll talk to you all again sometime in the new year. See how you have put your boundary up? You have acknowledged you do love them, but you have put them unnoticed. You're not doing this anymore. And I want you to know again, as your pseudo-grandma, it's absolutely okay to do that. Merry Christmas. Many grandma hugs from me. You have a wonderful time and understand that whatever your family does with the holiday is entirely up to them. You are not in charge of their feelings or emotions or actions in any way. Comment 3. I would take myself out of the group chat and or put all of their numbers on a setting that does not alert. Protect your peace. You can still interact with them, but only when you want to. Listen to your friends who care about you. Your mental health was so bad after last Christmas that your friends reached out to you in concern. It seems like you have some great friends. Go spend the holiday with some of them and have a great time. Comment 4. Maybe consider that with family like that they will try and ruin anything you choose to do during the holiday. Visit them. Absolutely awful experience you want to avoid like the plague. Vacation elsewhere. Sour taste that ruins an otherwise good time. Block them. Get harassed like absolute crazy. Maybe see this like whatever you do this time of year will suck, and it will all taste sour. Choose the thing that will suck the least regardless of what feces your family try to smear on you. Sounds like the vacation you already planned will suck the least. Maybe blocking them is also something that would be the least sucky, maybe not. Assume that the apes in your family will find any excuse to fling their poo. You warned them super early. Doesn't matter, an ape is going to fling their poo no matter what you do. Now, for our 4th story. Misogynistic, entitled parents watch their kid lose horribly to a girl. I'm writing this on my niece's account because of the new account filter. Me, M47, and my daughter, F17, live in Canada. There are many outdoor rinks in our area, and we have a favorite one because there are team benches, sturdy boards. It's Zamboni-ed by the city every hour, and it's just generally well kept. You can reserve an hour at a time on this sign-up sheet for $15, but it's free to skate as long as nobody has booked for that time. My daughter plays a very high level of competitive ice hockey, and she often reserves an hour or two and invites many of her teammates to this rink for fun so they can play casually. Around a week ago, my daughter, me, and 4 others from her team are about halfway through our reserve time. This group of boys, 13 to 14 years old, that nobody else knows gets out of a vehicle and approaches the rink, put their skates on, and start skating while passing and shooting pucks and leaving their sticks lying around, all in the way of my daughter's game. I show them the clipboard with the sign-up sheet, which proves my daughter paid for these 2 hours, and calmly ask them to clean up their gear and wait 30 minutes until the schedule is clear again. One kid, EK, looks at me and rolls his eyes while turning his back on me, and his group does not stop getting in our way. I tell the girls to start picking up the stuff the boys keep leaving around the rink and to simply just toss it over the boards onto the mats along the ice. EK, who rolled his eyes earlier, starts complaining, and at this point his dad, Yef, and mom, EM, have gotten out of the vehicle and asks what's wrong. The kid smirks at me and then whines to Yef and EM that he was trying to play hockey with his friends, but then a bunch of girls came and tried to bother them. I try to show Yef and EM the same clipboard, but Yef immediately took his kid's side and told me to leave and come back later since he was here first. False. and that girls are too weak and fragile to play with boys. A few minutes later, a worker from the city comes by and shows Yef that we in fact are entitled to the rink for the next half hour, regardless of who arrived first since we paid for that specific time. EM suggested going to a different rink, but Yef said, "No, I'll get these girls to leave." My daughter skates over and even offers the boys to join her game, so at least they are not in the way of each other. But Yef and this kid keep spewing rhetoric about how young girls can't be good at male-dominated sports, and how they have it so easy since they don't allow contact in women's hockey, and therefore the girls should just go home. But the kid's friends wanted to play, so he begrudgingly agreed, saying things about how easy this is going to be. I sat down on one of the benches. Yef and EM sat on the other one. What Yef and EK failed to realize: A, these girls are all a part of the same high competitive team, and B, that because women's hockey doesn't use contact, girls have to solely rely on agility and puck control skills, whereas a major skill for men's hockey involves hitting to make plays. I guess this makes me an instigator, but I nudged her and her teammates to go extra hard on them. Me, Yef, and EM watched half an hour of my daughter's team absolutely destroy these kids in every aspect of the game. EK started to get really angry and frustrated, and he decided to do something really stupid. The next time my daughter had the puck, EK charged as fast as he could go and attempted to ram her into the boards. Instead, EK ended up slamming knee first into the door. He got up immediately, then started screaming and crying about how it's not fair and yelling at Yef about going home. EM says something about how this is a public rink and we have the right to be here. But the trio left in the car after swearing and yelling towards me, but a few of EK's friends stayed. My daughter's team and the remaining guys ended up splitting equal amounts of each group into two teams and kept playing together fine until the next reservation. Apparently, this kid and dad duo have a history of getting in the way and blaming/complaining about women. Of the guys who stayed, they all mentioned that they are only friends with EK because Yef is their house league coach and they don't share the same views about women's hockey. I'm not entirely upset about what happened now that it's in the past. I'm simply baffled that there are still people that think women shouldn't exist in some sports even if they're male-dominated. Let's hear from the comment section. Comment 1. My friend should read this. She'd love it. I might send screenshots via DM if you don't mind. We're in the UK, and her daughter plays ice hockey. She's in the British squad, and when she was 14, she actually moved to a Canadian academy to skate while also studying high school. She graduated and got a part scholarship to a uni somewhere in New England to study architecture while also playing ice hockey. My friend doesn't think she'll ever come back permanently. She's about 20 now, I think. She always had to play with boys because they didn't have girls' sides in the UK at the time. They spent a lot of time driving her to rinks hours away, and the only ice time they could get was in the middle of the night. They still do when she's home. Comment 2. Sounds like your daughter's team needs to invite those nice guys to play with them sometimes. Scrimmages across skill levels end up teaching all the players something. Comment 3. Your example of skill over force is great. I'd like to think the average person has realized that gender doesn't necessarily determine success. Knowledge, skill, and even brawn are not gender-specific. But there are always the backward thinkers. Who knows what makes them tick? Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe to see more.